Hello everyone, my husband and I have been married for 4 years and together for 6, and this is the very first huge argument we have ever had. I, F24, am currently 33 weeks pregnant with his M31 baby. When I was 20 weeks pregnant, my doctor diagnosed me with placenta previa, which if you don't know is basically when the placenta for my baby is covering the opening in my cervix. They told me it would likely move as my baby grew, but it never did, so I am scheduled for a C-section in just 3 weeks. At 20 weeks, I was put on very light restrictions, but at 30, I got put on heavier restrictions, like no running, no lifting or climbing, no standing for longer than 3 hours at a time, and most importantly, no sex and no vaginal exams, because my doctor told me that we want absolutely nothing to potentially make me bleed, which could lead to preterm birth. So I have been doing this all for 3 weeks, but it has been driving my husband opera insane. Every single day he bothers me for sex. Every single day, I tell him I can remind him of the restrictions. I don't even want to have sex anyway. My tummy is so big and I am always exhausted. He doesn't really like those answers. Finally, he came to me and started going on about how doctors sometimes quadrodramatize things for the sake of their careers and more money. He said they push for ejections. I was like, okay, whatever, but I know that I have this condition. Obviously, I am going to follow the rules. He didn't take the answer, and we ended up having sex. For a few hours after, I was having really heavy bleeding, and I got so scared. I was crying in the bathroom, trying to figure out what to do. I ended up calling my doctor, and she told me to come in right away. The whole car ride there, I was just sobbing, imagining that in the hour I would be having a C-section for an only 33-week-old baby. We quickly figured out that I am not in preterm labor. I was just bleeding, and as long as it stops, it will be okay. It did, and I am fine. But while I was there, my doctor asked my husband to leave and started asking me questions. She asked me if I did anything I wasn't supposed to do. She was like, my goof, this isn't accusatory, it's okay, it's just better to know if it was caused by something or random. I told her that I had sex. She just went over all the things again and then gave me a bunch of information on domestic violence. She put them in my purse for me. Literally, I was so embarrassed. When we got into the car, I broke down and yelled at my husband, telling him to never do that to me again, and telling him that my doctor knows more than him and knows what is best for me and the baby. He apologized and I could tell he really meant it. I have still been holding a grudge for days and he had been groveling for days. He asked me how long I was gonna make him apologize. I told him at least until the baby is born. AITAH for that.